Welcome to our podcast, Face It, the Reasons Why You Should Fib. If you're listening to this podcast, you're seeking information about how to age gracefully and how to age naturally. My name's Ryann, and I'm the owner of FIBB Botox Bar. I have a true passion for the medical aesthetics industry, and I'm a national allergen trainer and also a national Sciton luminary. Each week, we're going to talk about topics that will help you make decisions and motivate you and inspire you to be the best version of yourself. And we're also going to have a lot of fun along the way. These services will help you obtain results where everybody will notice, but nobody will know. Hey, everybody.
Is this thing on?
Is it on? Is it on? Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
We got a lot of good stuff for you to listen to. So we are here today. I'm Ryann, the owner of FIBB Botox Bar, or FIBB, and this is an exciting day because we're here to kick off our podcast,
yes.
Our FIBBcast, essentially. And this is going to be an educational series of discussing the medical spa industry and, our favorite things at our facilities and our organization, and just kind of an overview of procedures that we do and really educating our patients, because that's really what we focus on. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to be here with Jen. She's our marketing director and a good friend of mine. And so she's been with me since the beginning and is kind of the jack of all trades. She can do anything from scheduling patients. She does our social media.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you for this. I'm excited for this podcast. Like, there's a lot of information. We've been talking about doing this for a little while now. So
yes,
it's finally come to fruition.
Yeah. So 6 months in the works here, and we are excited about that.
Why FIBB, Ryann?
So as far as my credentials too, I'm a nurse anesthetist by trade and then a nurse practitioner. And about 7-8 years ago, a friend of mine suggested that I start Botox. She's a nurse anesthetist, Vicki Johnson. And from that day forward, I absolutely fell in love with this industry. And this industry is really in its infancy stages. So I jumped right in, of course, as you know. Jen remembers flying all over the country to Dr. Arthur Swift, New York City, training with Dr. Trokel, jumping in to really learn and be the best and of what it takes. We don't want to just do it. We want to do it right.
Right.
So I've practiced anesthesia for over 20 years, and nurse practitioner we started in, it's been about 8 years ago. Just as far as all the trainings, I'm a national allergen trainer, which it's a really good credential, and I've worked so hard to get there.
Absolutely.
And I'm very involved in a lot of the training that goes on locally in the area. We train, I've been sent to train many people in the area also, and also with the laser training too, national Sciton trainer. So really, I love educating. I want our industry to grow. Bad outcomes are terrible for everybody. So we really want patients to be happy and educating them.
So how did a FIBB originate? Where did this come from?
So as far as, finding the name, so when my sister-in-law and I, Jennifer Pyatt, so we were kind of talking about what can we name it. And I was like, let's face it, I'm almost 40. Face it is kind of how that came to be. And then I wanted something trendy, something, out of California. I'd seen Alchemy 43, which is one of the original med spas there, and just listening to the news story, I was like, we don't have anything like that in Fort Myers. And so FIBB Botox was born.
Right. So FIBB, right? FIBB Botox.
Yes.
You're fibbing?
Yes, You're fibbing about what you're doing. And as in the past 7 years, I've seen a transition of now people are talking.
They used to not talk about it as much before. It was hidden, right? Nobody wanted you to know, right, about those kind of things.
Yeah. So, and that was kind of the take on, we're going to fib about what we're doing. And so now, that's how it was born.
And your envision for FIBB, for FIBB Botox Bar, tell us a little bit about that and for your patients.
So as we've grown, I started in a salon suite with one room. And I went to my husband one day and I said, honey, I'm going to start this business, and this is what we're going to do. Started injecting in one room. I was doing anesthesia 3 days and then injecting 2 days a week, and it just continued to grow.
And your mom was your receptionist.
Yes.
You had one MA.
Yes.
And it would be like she'd schedule your appointment, and you'd go in, and it'd be one room, and then it grew.
Yes.
And then it grew. Now, what's the future right now looking like for FIBB?
So we're continuing to grow, and we have our Fort Myers location. We have a location in Estero that's been open about a year and a half, and it's booming down there. And we're looking at opening 2 more locations in the local Fort Myers area in Punta Gorda. So we are expanding. We have 20 employees right now and growing. We have more providers joining us this year.
Nice. I know you are a lot into the community. You're also very into with your patients on, making this a good environment, right? Making it non-judgmental, and making this a warm place for people, for not only just women, but teenagers come, men come here.
Yes, absolutely.
You've made that a great atmosphere. What kind of drives you for this kind of industry?
So my original experience getting Botox, I was 37, and I had gone into a plastic surgeon office. They, had me fill out the paperwork, went to a room, sat down, and injected. And they didn't talk to me about what I was getting, about, the process, how long it would last. And I just felt when I walked out of there that something was missing. So I wanted, and plus I was a little intimidated. When you walk into these places, there's an intimidation factor, right?
Sure,
You're
absolutely.
looking at what they look like, and do I want to look like that? And, a lot of our patients say that they don't know. So I wanted to open up a business where people felt welcome. They were, absolutely comfortable, and we educated them on what's happening. When you come into FIBB, we'll get, we do a FIBB journey, and we sit down with the patient and do a real consultation, which will be another episode. So that's really what my goal was. Mm-hmm. And to have people understand what and why we're doing things, and what products we're using.
And I think you say the best injectable, right, is the least detectable.
Yes.
So making everyone feel natural, feel good about themselves, not only inside and outside.
Correct.
As well, I think is important, and something that you strive not only for yourself but for your patients, your team. Look at your team. Tell me a little bit about your team and how you've kind of come to have this team of almost 20 people now.
As we've grown the business, I have a couple friends that have been dear friends of mine, and, with their specialties, bringing them in, helping us run. We have Dawn Bolin and Amber Smith, who are practice managers, directors. And then as far as the interview process and bringing in practitioners that really care. So that's kind of what we strive to do, and people that are highly motivated or hustlers and that really truly care about patient results.
Absolutely. I remember when you first started, because I was one of your patients, it was you in a salon suite with your mom, and you had 1 MA, and everything was kind of in one room. So from there, tell us about where you kind of went from there, how that transpired, and what was your next step from there?
So that was a vision that I always had of, growing, and to start in one room, having mom there and having patients. And I was doing anesthesia 3 days a week and injecting 2 days a week. And so as we were growing, and, some of our first patients, and a lot of them have been with us for that, 5-6 years, incredible experience to think back at having one room. And then within, 3 months, we had 3 or 4 rooms. Right. By 9 months, we had 7 rooms. We were taking over the space, and we really started to say, this is the real deal, and that this was what I wanted to do. And so we
moved into another building.
Yes. So we looked at purchasing our own facility and moving into that. And so with the build out, we had rented a second location. And by then we had 7-8 employees, and it was just growing phenomenally. And, again, thanks to all our patients that have been so loyal and supportive. Still to this day, we have them. And my vision was always having, 5 locations. I really wanted this to be an organization, kind of like a franchise, but, still running that. And we've accomplished a lot. And within a year, we had this building that has 11 rooms.
And then from there, so up and running in Fort Myers, and you decide Estero.
Yes.
Why Estero?
So a lot of our patients are driving from, Naples and Estero, and so we wanted that location to be closer to them. And that area is booming, and as Fort Myers, the South Fort Myers area continues to grow. And so
just had our 1-year anniversary in Estero.
Yes.
So that's been great. As far as the different, we have all ages of patients that come here. We have teenagers, like I said, men, women. You've seen them up to probably 70, 80 years old. You started with Botox, right? And then we go into facials, lasers? What are some of the other things that you've brought into, and that's bringing all these different patients here into FIBB?
So it's funny, I was doing a halo on a patient the other day, and she's like, remember when 6 years ago I asked you about hormone replacement? And she was one of the first patients that had suggested. She's like, I don't want to see anybody else. Will you start doing it? And that's where I say patients drive what we do, because we want to keep them in-house. And a lot of them feel comfortable with having us as a, their provider. So as far as the hormone replacement with BioT, we do weight loss now, and with the semaglutide and some other peptides.
Right.
We are a big laser facility. We have a lot of derms in town that refer to us.
Absolutely.
Care about skin health.
Of course. Well, and it's just you have the estheticians, you've got the facials, and they do all the different microneedlings and things. There's always something for somebody at a certain age.
Yes.
And if you're not just doing facials, some people don't want to be injected with something, right?
Absolutely.
So they offer other services, that they can have if they don't. Or some people want that. Some people want it. There's a variety of things, and it's all kind of combined together. You have a lot of the body sculpting machines here.
Yeah, and we do have patients that don't do Botox or fillers at all. They're doing M-face, they're doing hydrofacials, radiofrequency microneedling, skin tightening procedures that, for really every decade of life.
Right.
And it keeps them aging. And how many patients, we get so excited because we have patients who come in and we have this reveal imager, and we show them. I have a patient from 2019 to now.
Right.
She's actually aged backwards.
Right.
And she saw that yesterday and couldn't believe it. She hasn't aged.
Yeah.
So that's the exciting part for us, is that we can fight this aging process.
Right.
Non-surgically is the big thing.
Right.
If patients want a facelift, and we do ask that, but there's a lot of stuff you can do that's minimally invasive that will help you age better. So
I agree. And I think that kind of gives all the services that you do offer, it kind of opens up the door for other things. And a lot of people still sometimes don't know the services that we have here or what we're doing. And again, they want to stay in-house. They want to do something here. They get comfortable seeing the same person. You've kind of opened a door for them of all different aspects, not just injectables, not just Botox.
Right.
It's a full med spa.
Well, and we go the extra mile, right? Because we have our weight loss program that includes body sculpting. People are getting Ozempic face. They can do fillers to prevent that. And those are discussions we have. The M-Sculpt Neo body sculpting, the M-Face we have. So patients are doing a lot of different services, not just one thing. And so, again, we have multi-modality things to offer patients. Our estheticians, master hydrofacialists, they're amazing.
Right.
So,
you have a lot of things that, not only are for certain people, but we'll bring people in. And again, it's very, and we have patients all the time say, they feel like family, right? It's very homey feeling here. We have some people that come and they'll have an IV, or they'll be waiting for their hydrofacial and might have a glass of wine or something like that. And it's very social and very laid back. And I think that's why it's become so popular here. And I think that's why and I hear a lot of people, especially on the social media aspect of, in our Google reviews and things like that, of why they want to come here. And a lot of it is because of the people that you have here and the way that you make people feel.
Yes. And that's, again, going back to our patients, that's our why. We are lucky to have our patients. Every day we strive to be the best and strive to get patients results of what they're looking for. And if they're, not 100% happy, we will do whatever we can to, make that happen. So.
Absolutely.
So can you believe we did this?
We did.
Accomplished our first podcast.
We did. First podcast is in the books. So it was fun. This was good. This was kind of what we were wanting to accomplish. We've done some lives on, Facebook and stuff like that. And we've got our Instagram and we're doing videos. And I know everybody loves to see you out there talking. We're always grabbing each other to get out there and do the videos. But hopefully this will bring some knowledge to the medical industry of med spa and give us another avenue and you an avenue to speak and teach us and people some of the things that because Ryann, you are a wealth of knowledge. And so I'm glad to be a part of this. I'm excited, and I hope you all are as well. And for this podcast journey.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing it. We want the world to know everything about FIBB.
Yes.
Because we really genuinely every day have such good stories our patients leave here. We have patients that come in and, have engaged in every service, and they just, it's life-changing. We just did filler on a friend of ours 2 days ago, and she really texted me the next day, and she's like, the mental part of what you just did for me is incredible. And that's what we want, really, to educate patients about the stigma with fillers. So we are excited. There's a lot more episodes coming that are going to be extremely informative and real based science, based on the science.
Kind of digging into things and, the lighter side. We'll have some reps on here and some staff as well. And as we close, you can visit us on our website, www.faceitbotoxbar.com. We are also on Instagram and Facebook. And
if you want to call and schedule a consultation, it's call 239-322-3815.
That's right. Do you fib?
I fib.
I fib. Nice job.
Bye.